What's up, Wolfpack fam? I hope you're doing well. We have Heat G of Series 4. Let's dive right into it, boys and girls.
Through the mayhem and the carnage so far, reigning champs Chaos 2 into the semi-finals, tossing and turning. The Pussycat crept in too, smashing and bashing. Then the Firestorm, all cut and thrust. Stake 2 called time on Kronos, and a reappointed Mortis. And Tornado was too stormy for those Gemini twins. What's in the stars for today's intrepid battlers on Robot Wars?
Good battle.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man who thought a doodlebug was an addiction to drawing, Craig Charles.
Now, take my mother. I love her. She's a full-on scouser. In fact, she was the only woman ever to get nicked for shoplifting on supermarket sweep. But that doesn't mean that we don't fight. And it's the same with my wife. Vicky didn't marry us. We had to find a referee. But the point is, fighting's not always about hatred. And here on Robot Wars, all our competing robots are part of one big, happy family. Exactly. It's going to be carnage. Let's find out who's feuding for the bruising this week.
On today's card, Craig, old friends like the Dark Destroyer 2, the number 29 seeds Dreadnought XP1 in their fourth wars, and newcomers Warhog, but in the first battle, the number 13 seeds Gravedigger against veterans Thermidor 2, and the new boys, Chronic the Wedgehog.
Nice name.
It's the melees and time to meet the contenders. Here we have Chronic the Wedgehog working hard. We've got Sinclair C5 motors in there, which are quite powerful compared to other Roboteers, so that should give you a bit of speed. We're a bit worried about the polycarbonate casing because it's flexible and should be easily pierced. Beware, guys. Flipper, pneumatic flipper, axes at the back, piercer at the back, and flower pots. Why?
Well, we actually built it in a greenhouse, so we thought we'd use flower pots on top.
For the spirit of
keep with the image.
Yeah, looking good, guys. Ooh, a lobster. Thermidor too. I hate lobster Thermidor. Wheels from a mini Metro, I believe. They got to go back?
No.
And what happened when you let this loose in your house? I hear it got a bit out of control.
It did. We were testing the controls out in the kitchen. Probably not the best place to try it in hindsight. It got away from us, put a really large dent in the radiator. So a little job for me later.
More work.
I know.
Good luck,
Whoops.
team. And the Gravedigger. We've seen them in the last wars. They are back. This is a really phenomenal robot. Now, this arm here exerts 2 tons of pressure from the base, which is 2 heavy cars, 2 escorts. And it's not actually just the pressure of the arm that's the important thing, is it? It's the speed. Oh. Now, you've had to make a change in the last 2 days because the speed of the arm was so great. What happened?
Right. We operated the weapon, and it was on a full gas charge, and the arm moved so fast that it actually bent under its own weight.
So it hit something and carried on sort of bending round the obstacle?
That's right, yes. It bent from here, and the top half of the arm bent over.
And you can see the OXO tin here. All the main circuitry in that robot is in that little OXO tin.
Time to
That would have been kind of cool to see.
unleash the dogs of war. And boy, are they rabid. Hey, 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 let the wars begin!
Number 1.
From Seaton in Devon, Chronic the Wedgehog.
A first-time entry to the wars, a pneumatic flipper and Spike provide the weapons. It has that polycarbonate shell, a top speed of 10 miles an hour. It's not Sonic, but Chronic is not moronic, so beware.
Hi, my name is Dave Blank from Team Chronic. This is our robot, Chronic the Wedgehog. It's powered by 2 Sinclair C5 motors. It has a pneumatic front flipper and a pneumatic spike on the back, which fires out about that far. Hopefully we should do some damage there.
From Norwich, the number 13 seed, Gravedigger.
Reached the semi-finals of the last wars. It has an aluminium-plated shell, is driven by 2 750-watt, 1-horsepower motors. It has a hydraulic ramming arm capable of sinking any opponent 6 feet under. Many a robot here met the grisly grin of the Gravedigger last time around. Manic Mutant and then Mortis surprisingly put in the pit. Next up was the Dark Destroyer, but in the series semi-finals, Stegosaurus proved too good for Gravedigger.
I'm Dave, Gravedigger team. This is Jonathan, our team captain. This is Owen, he's the artist and weapons operator. Jonathan's the driver. Gravedigger, you can see it's a wedge-shaped robot. It works off a 2-ton hydraulic ram working an arm. Then the arm's worked off a CO2 gas cylinder. The main drive is 2 electric motors, and they drive 2 go-kart wheels.
From Norwich, Thermidor 2.
Got broiled in the last wars when the claws couldn't get to grips. The shell's aluminium power comes from 2 750-watt industrial electric motors, but I fear this might just become a prawn in the game for the more powerful. Last time around, they won their first battle against Blunderstorm fairly easily. But then when matched with Scutter's Revenge, didn't have enough power and ended up in the pit.
Hi, we're Team Lobster. My name's David. This is Ian. This is Eli. This is our robot Thermidor 2. We've got really grippy tyres, powerful claws, powerful flipper. And this war, we're going to win.
Roboteer.
I like his confidence. I want to go with Wedgehog. If I do say Hedgehog or Sonic the Hedgehog by accident, you guys know which one I'm meaning. And I'm going to go with, what's a Dread? What is it, Dread? Yeah, because that, damn it, forgot. Yeah, the flipper on that one, the front part of it definitely looks strong. My feeling for the lobster is that it's gonna, it's gonna be very easy to flip it over. So I'm not gonna go for the little lobster thing. Nah, not one that looks too strong, but I hope I'm wrong.
Stand by.
Chronic the Wedgehog, father and son, John and Dave Lang, Mike Gardner in there as well. Thermidor 2, David Harding, Ian Harvey and Eli Kirkpatrick, and Gravedigger, another father and son.
Whoops, Gravedigger, way off.
Team John Chaplin, Dave Chaplin, Owen
Wrong
Ramsey.
names.
1. Activate.
Not
At
bad.
the moment, the Wedgehog on the attack on the lobster.
Yeah.
Thermidor 2 rose to the occasion. Chronic the Wedgehog, buffeted by Gravedigger, the seeded robot in this eliminator, seeded 13, and pushing in again on the back of the Wedgehog, smashing Thermidor 2 against the arena wall.
Nice.
Lifting underneath Thermidor 2 now is Chronic the Wedgehog with that front flipper. It's pneumatic. Thermidor 2 scuttling away into the deep recesses of the Robot Wars pool to come again. Flipping up on the front of Chronic the Wedgehog. You can see the sparks from the side of the arena, smoke as well. There's the descending pit. You don't want to stay there too long, Chronic.
Hey.
Gravedigger, classic wedge shape with again the hydraulic ram operating arm. Very dangerous, Gravedigger. Get off that arena flipper, Chronic.
Hi.
Thermidor backs away. Look at the claws. Ready to close in. This is a good battle, isn't it? Very,
Nice.
very level so far. Good aggression from all three. In comes Thermidor again, clacking the pincers together. Chronic's been aggressive, but I think Gravedigger has a problem with that weapon. We heard beforehand they had to readjust it, and I don't think the operating arm is operating. Thermidor 2. Oh, one of the claws is gone! Bent back and buckled, and now hangs limp, does it? One of those claws on the front of the Thermidor. Chronic the Wedgehog is the surprise here from Seaton in Devon, powered by the 2 C5 motors. And Gravedigger's on its side! Gravedigger, the seeded robot, in major trouble. Here was Thermidor doing the damage. Thermidor 2 got in with the flipper at the front of the lobster. Underneath and up and over she goes. Well, Gravedigger could be in a coffin here.
Oh.
And they're digging deep the grave for the digger. And in comes Killalot, a massive 280 kilos, moving slowly. Only 1.8 meters a second, Killalot, but when he moves slowly, he moves inexorably. Oh! Gravedigger spun away. Comes back to life now, it would seem, but I think it's too late. I think it was immobilized too long. We'll wait and see. It's trundling around the arena floor there, look. but I think the judges will have noted that it was immobilised for too long. We'll wait to hear from Craig, but that was some battle.
Hold up.
Gravedigger back to the cemetery. Chronic the Wedgehog and Thermidor 2, they go through.
This is a major upset.
Wow.
What happened? You were on your side. Why didn't you use your arm to get yourself out of it?
Just wouldn't work. Just wouldn't work. Yesterday, worked fine. Today, when it was needed, nothing.
We were excited about that arm.
So are we, but it just wouldn't work in the end. It all works now, but just wouldn't work when it was needed.
And you were seeded as well. What number?
Number 13.
Unlucky.
Jesus. Yo, that's so unlucky. So forgive me. We had got Gravedigger's name wrong before, but I want to say real quick, the artwork on Gravedigger is pretty awesome. Man, having a weapon not work when it's needed the most, very unlucky, man. Very.
Yes, sir. Never mind. Thermidor 2 and Chronic the Wedgehog won't. That's for certain. Next up, Warhog, Dark Destroyer 2 and the seeded Dreadnought XP1.
In the pits for the melee, the Dreadnought team are back. This time Dreadnought XP1, which stands for...
Experimental Prototype number 1.
But this is your fourth. You've been here since the beginning.
Yeah, it's changed a bit.
It's changed a bit, but you've got the original chassis.
Yeah.
And you've beefed up the forks a bit.
They're more powerful. Not as
Right.
fast as they were before, but hopefully they'll lift them.
But they're electric, aren't they? So they're never going to be that fast, but
No.
it's a slow, piercing action
That's right. It's fast in reverse.
there. It's fast in reverse. Here we have the Warhog team. Hello, guys.
Nice.
How does this work, then?
Right, okay, this works. If you mind taking the pin out, sir. Yeah, that's it. By spinning around pretty fast, 500 rests per minute. It's a very heavy disc, this, unlike that Hypnodisc thing. It's got a bit more power behind it. Nothing wrong.
And those little spikes
Right.
there are going to gouge your
Gouge,
opponents.
one at the bottom to trip them up, and one at the top to kill.
And
Is
that's
that it?
pretty thick. I think
That's
that's
pretty
going to
thick,
do
yeah.
some serious damage.
Yeah, right.
Finally, the Dark Destroyer, powered by a Peugeot turbo diesel starter motor, so it's a seriously powerful robot. Although the weaponry leaves you a little bit short, I think. You described this to me as a waggler.
It is a waggler,
This
yeah.
is the key weapon here, which just waggles brilliantly. They've got two, though, importantly, a few spikes. Basically, this is just going to work as a big battering ram. If any robot comes up the front here, it will hopefully get flipped or shoved into the pits or the house robots.
Initial glance out of all the robots right now, Warthog looks the most interesting out of all the robots right now. I like that he took a shot at Hypnodisc right there. Nice job there. So Warthog is one that I want to go for, and I'm torn right now between Dark Destroyer and Dreadnought right now, so I'm still thinking on it. Let's hear more.
From Hull, the Warhog.
Newcomers to the wars, the shell's mild steel plate and aluminium. The motors come from car spare parts, and the spinning wheel weapon, inspired by Hypnodisc perhaps, rotates so fast. Will this hog the limelight?
Hi, I'm the team captain. This is Colin Hare. This is Paul Stevenson and Matt Chalmers. And this is Warhog. Warhog's one of the many spinning robots, but this is a spinner with a difference because it's a heavy spinner. And it spins at about 500 RPM. The weight is about 30 kilograms. We hope to do well, but we'll see.
I hope so.
From Nuneaton in Warwickshire, the number 29 seed, Dreadnought XP1.
Will it create naught but dread from its lifting fork weapons? Will it go further than the last series when Trident beat this fiberglass protected machine with its wheelchair motor, zero turning circle for dangerously high ground clearance? They have great experience though. Ever presence, they've fought in every series of Robot Wars. Good driving skills and aggression. Ratus Ratus, for example, here defeated so easily. But then Trident, too strong in the last series.
Hi, I'm Ken, and this is Dave, my brother-in-law, and this is Faye, his daughter, my niece. And we're the Dreadnought team. This is our robot, Dreadnought. As you can see, it's a sculpted body shell made of fiberglass. It's pretty solid. And these are our main weapons, which are solid steel forks. We're going to skewer and lift the opponents.
From Romsey in Hampshire, Dark Destroyer.
Now, the Wagglers are actually electric motorised spring-loaded high-speed axes. There you are. The bulldozer scoop and spikes mean this time it may not be all darkness for the Destroyer. Last time around, the weapon was a lawnmower blade, too good for Sergeant Meikle, and then T2. But no self-righting mechanism against Gravedigger. They were looking for revenge. Gravedigger have gone.
Hello, my name's Rob Dark, team captain of Team Dark Destroyer. This is my son, Chris, the driver of the robot, and George, who's head of logistics. This is our robot. Its main weapons are fast-moving axes, sprung-loaded, to chop and slice. It's got a ramming front, a bulldozer front, with sharp spikes for doing carnage. It's also got spikes on the side for glancing blows. Our other weapon is a leading edge off the back, so we can reverse under the robots and hopefully tip them up.
All right, let's go with Dark Destroyer and the Warthog one. Yeah, I'm really excited to see the Warthog one.
Stand by.
There's the Warhog team from Hull, Colin Hare, work colleagues Paul Stevenson and Mark Chalmers, Dreadnought, the family team from Nuneaton, and Dark Destroyer, Rob Dark's son Chris and George Murrell, the friend.
3, 2, 1.
George Murrell also described as the strong man of the team. Dark Destroyer backing onto Dreadnought. Here comes the spinning Warhog. That great spinning blade. Meanwhile, the Dark Destroyer backing on to Dreadnought. They spin together. There's the Wagglers. Well, we thought they were going to be devastating weapons. I'm not too... Oh! Something's happened there to Dreadnought. It was from the spinning blades of Warhog. Look at that. Shattering off the side of Dreadnought XP1. The fiberglass shell doesn't look too strong. This machine does, but what mobility? Yes, we know you can spin. Warhog. Oh my God. Here, Suey, Suey, Suey. Get back into the action, the hog. Spun away, look. Like a Madden spinning top. Away it goes. Oh, crash like Dodgems in a fairground. Off Dreadnought. Dreadnought moves very, very slowly towards the Dark Destroyer 2. The eyes peering on the back of the Dark Destroyer. The Wagglers waggling. Warhog spins, but actually is supposed to spin against the opponents. I think he's doing some sort of disco dance just for the benefit of Killalot. Killalot's more of a sort of a hip-hop, jungly beat dancer these days, actually, the Hog. A little bit old-fashioned with that one. And Killalot comes in, and Dead Metal's in there as well. Dead Metal's plate we saw, the pincers too. Ref box stands on one side. Oh, barbecued pork. Can you smell the barbecued pork? I'll have a loin. Oh, yes. Warhog ready for the pork chop. I hope so. Into the pit. Yes, no. He's away from the burning, blazing pit. Now I can just see a little flicker, a little tongue of flame, perhaps. From the top of the Warhog, a singe or two. Dead Metal with a blade. Oh, go on, a slice or two. Carve him up. Oh, look, a spare rib can be seen inside Warhog as the front comes off. Oh, and also in comes Dark Destroyer to push him away from the arena flipper. Now, I think the house robots just wanted him to be flipped, but the Dark Destroyer wants more action. What's going to happen here? Shunt closes in on the Warhog. Warhog's out of it, immobilised. What's Killalot doing? He's taking on Dreadnought. Now that is bang out of order, Killalot. Dreadnought was okay, still in the fight. The house robot should not have taken him on, and they de-shelled the Dreadnought. Well, 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 I don't think Killalot should have done that. Certainly Warhog out of it. What's going to happen to Killalot? Send him off.
Well, Warhog promised so much, but then lost power. Dreadnought and Dark Destroyer too. Hey, they go through.
Well, the last thing we saw was a collision with Dreadnought, and then what happened?
Well, we got flung quite a while away, about, I don't know, 15 foot, something like that, and I think maybe we caused some electrical damage in there. I mean, I designed the mechanical bits and they're fine.
Listen, real quick, I know I'll forget this if I don't say this. Warhog reminds me of two things. If you guys ever played air hockey, with its shape, and then also someone who is like waxing the floors. There's a machine like that with a stick. It looks just like that. So when it flew in the air, sometimes in air hockey, some of those things fly in the air. I just thought of that thing. But very cool seeing Warhog. Obviously, it didn't get much movement in it. I think that would have been so good if it would actually travel. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't get a chance to really do much. Unfortunate for them, but definitely still the coolest robot we've seen on this episode. Hands down. Potential. Future, hopefully.
With friends like that, who needs enemies? The Warhawk go out. Dreadnought and Dark Destroyer through to the Heat semi-finals. Dark Destroyer 2 will line up against Chronic the Wedgehog. Dreadnought, the seeded robot, left against Thermidor 2.
Okay. Pinball. It used to be a harmless bit of fun, but now it's deadly serious. It's our Pinball Warrior Tournament. Hey, let the trials begin!
The Pinball Warrior, great test of driving skill and control. What a run by Spawn of Scudder, 245 points. Hypnodisc and 101. Not bad at all, you know.
From Brighton, and seeded number 14, Bigger Brother.
Through to the semi-finals of Series 3, Ian Watson's son, Little Joe. They call this machine a nightmare in metal.
3, 2, 1.
The object then to score as many points as possible. 5 points for each of those barrels tumble. Great speed, up to 10 miles an hour for Bigger Brother, dancing around the arena floor and attacking that specific target, guarded there by Sergeant Bash. The multi-ball release, we briefly saw the sphere there to the right-hand side. There's the multi-ball release. Oh, go on, have another go. You've got to release it to pick up 10 points for the release, 5 points for each of those balls. Oh, one of them goes in the air. Now, they're bowling balls. That shows you the speed and power of these robots. Have you seen that bowling ball fly through the air there? 75 points, Emma grabs it. Big Brother can hit that target. Bigger Brother going against the target again with dead metal blocks, and now Kill-A-Lot, who has the freedom of the arena floor, also closing in. Bigger Brother needs points here. Through the car door release. Yes, more points scored by Bigger Brother there. I don't think it's going to get a run up and over the bridge. It's going to attack that 50-point marker. Yes, nice. In behind Matilda. This is a good run here by Bigger Brother. More barrels bashed across the arena floor. And that's not bad at all by Bigger Brother. Crowd liked it. We should see some of that run again. Good start. Traditional tactic, hit the barrels. 5 points for each. Then look at this. In behind Bash straight away. 50 points. Multi-ball release, another 10. Great power on that surge. And the car door. Dodging Kill-A-Lot to get in behind Matilda. More points there. Good stuff. Finally, another onslaught on the barrels. Bigger Brother moves second, 180 points behind Spawn of Scudder. Still the likes of Firestorm 2 and Gemini and Jotor to come, though. But I'll tell you what, they're going to have to go some.
That high score proving very hard to beat. More Champing Champ challenges soon. Well, let's get back to the wars.
And they're the one seed remaining in the heat. Dreadnought XP1 will meet Thermidor 2, but then Dark Destroyer 2 against Chronic the Wedgehog. And this should be some battle. Chronic stands waiting.
Stand by.
Kill-A-Lot peers on. Chronic, the Wedgehog, from Seaton in Devon. Dave and John Lang, Mike Gardner, and there's the Dark Destroyer 2 from Hampshire. Rob and Chris Dark, George Murrell.
I think I'd like Chronic to win this bout here.
3, 2, 1.
Chris Dark at the controls of Dark Destroyer 2, we saw there spinning around. Chronic the Wedgehog with its pneumatic flipper and pneumatic spike. Dark Destroyer 2 has the waggling blades at the back. It's a little bit haphazard, doesn't it? You just saw them. They look like mandibles of a giant insect. Dark Destroyer 2 nibbling then. Yeah. On the shoulder of Chronic the Wedgehog. A bit tentative. Trying to perhaps feel out a few weaknesses, and there goes the flipping arm of Chronic the Wedgehog, and Dark Destroyer 2 is over and possibly out. Chronic the Wedgehog, spot of the week is PTO. Please turn over. Yeah, okay, we've done it. So what are you going to do now? Dark Destroyer 2. Rob Dark, Son Chris, George Murrell. Strongman, head of logistics. Heave-ho, Strongman. Get yourself up and going. Chronic the Wedgehog. Little bit of a bash and a shove. Look at the flames. Great arena, isn't it? Now, of course, you can get Shunt coming in with the blade on Dark Destroyer 2. The mandibles flicker. But there's not a great deal of hope. Oh, now the screech of the circular blade on the wheel of Dark Destroyer 2. Bits of cars and racing carts and golf caddies in there as well. Well, I think you're just about to hear the great cry of "4" from the opponents, because Dark Destroyer 2 doesn't know where it's going at the moment. Onto the arena flipper from Dead Metal there. To be flipped up and over any second. No! There goes Dark Destroyer 2. PTO, please turn us back over so we're okay. Immobilised too long. They've crashed out. And Killalon, of course, can come in here with the great crunching blade. Ooh. Almost snapping off the very weaponry of Dark Destroyer 2. They're about to go. They lost in Series 3 to Gravedigger in the heat, and they're going to lose here today to Chronic the Wedgehog into the pit. Dark Destroyer 2 beaten. Disappointment for them.
Well, the Dark Destroyer totally destroyed. Chronic the Wedgehog go through. Come on, lads. Well, lads, eh? Mangled, mashed, mutilated.
It's the flipper. Couldn't do anything about it.
They kind of flipped you over, and then the house robots sort of did the rest, didn't they?
Yeah, they looked after us, didn't they, properly?
You took some serious damage there.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to be able to rebuild that robot, or are you going to throw it away and start again?
Probably rebuild it.
You're going to rebuild it?
Probably.
So we're going to have Dark Destroyer 3.
Yeah, 3, yeah.
Is it going to be harder, though?
It will be, yeah.
All right, lads. We'll see you next time. All right? Well, Chronic the Wedgehog makes it across the road without being squashed.
Yeah. We did it. At
And
last.
you took no damage. You wouldn't even have to recharge your batteries after that. You just flipped them over, then retired and let the house robots do the rest.
What else do you need to do?
Is that your game plan? Is that the major function of the machine?
We tried to lift him back up on its feet.
What, like a pussycat playing with a mouse?
Yeah,
Do you think you can go much further in the competition? It seems like a nice robot.
We'll try and keep going. Do our best.
Let's hear it. Chronic the Wedgehog!
Blame it on the waggler. Let's not talk about self-righting mechanisms at a time like that. Blame it on the driver.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. My home county, you know, Hampshire.
It is.
Good place.
Yes.
Glad to hear it.
I was supporting you,
Yeah.
but you didn't really come prepared, did you?
Not for being tipped over. As our weakness, basically.
Exactly. They saw you coming.
Well, I thought we did rather well until we actually got caught by their flipper. We've seen their flipper before, and we didn't think that good, but.
We pushed it around the arena. We pushed it from everywhere and had them sort of power, but couldn't finish it off.
And you got finished off
We did,
by the
yeah.
house robots. Show us a bit of carnage. What are you most pleased about? Or upset about, should I say? Ooh, juicy.
Chain's been broken off.
How's the Peugeot engine?
Motor.
That's still going.
Yeah.
If we could put another wheel and chain on it, it would go again.
Well,
No
back for the
problem.
next wars then.
Not this one. No.
Next one.
Dark family. Brilliant.
He definitely sounded like he underestimated Chronic the Wedgehog, and I think it's very easily a robot to underestimate because it's slow. You know, it definitely is a lot slower than most of the robots that are in the heat. But you know, it got far enough to advance. But the thing that was kind of funny with Dark Destroyer 2 was that when it was flipped over and it was going like this, it looked like one of those nature stuff when like some sort of like an insect or some shit is like rotating on it. It's like, please don't eat me. So just silly fun on this episode for me.
The boys from Beer in Devon, you have done incredibly well. One flip, and that was it.
Yeah, we did try and turn him back over, but to no avail, really. The house robots moved in, and we stood back.
But would you have gone in, if the house robots hadn't been there, would you have gone in for more slaughter?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
You're not saving yourselves secretly for the finals.
No.
Because remember, we weren't particularly impressed by the polycarbonate. We talked about it earlier.
That's sort of like improved now. It's sort of holding out quite well.
Bit of buckling around that side, but we won't go there. We won't go there. That's the bubble wrap side, isn't it? Anyway, you've done very well.
Thank you.
Come a few hours distance to get here, and good luck. Let's see you in those in the finals.
That's what we can do.
We'll see what we can do.
Yes.
So the Dark Destroyer reckon they had one weakness. That's like saying General Custer made a slight error of judgment. Dreadnought XP1 against Thermidor 2. Next up.
Dreadnought, you're still working. You've got seconds to go. There's an audience screaming for you in there. What are you doing, boys?
Keeping it together, panicking.
Panic. Panicking will get you everywhere at this stage of the game. Oh, Lord. And if it's not you, it's Warhog. So, get it together.
We're working.
I'll leave you to it.
The Kill-A-Lot screwed this team up because the Warhog was definitely immobilized. It looked immobilized, so it kind of did like overkill there.
Roboteers, stand by.
Thermidor 2 looked pretty impressive against Gravedigger with David Harding, Ian Harvey and Eli Kirkpatrick. What damage has been caused to Dreadnought by Warhog and by Kill-A-Lot, I must say.
3.
Then we're going to go with Dreadnought, boys and girls.
2, 1. Activate.
Let's have a close scrutiny early on then. Well, Dreadnought seems okay to me, but it's Thermidor 2 on the attack straight away with the lobster pincers and that flipper. One attempt on Dreadnought and another overturns Dreadnought like a beetle thrown on its back. Great power in this flipper. Looks quite unassuming, but it's one of the strongest weapons we've seen so far in this series. Look at that. Dreadnought twisting up in the air, crashing down on its back. Whoosh, over it goes.
Hey, it's two
Now, can
bites.
Dreadnought right itself? I don't think so. And I think here we're seeing the end of Dreadnought. Well, Matilda certainly thinks so. The ref bot in there just have a close look, and Matilda slices through the fiberglass shell of Dreadnought. We've already seen that lifted off once and through there. Oh, look at that. Slicing through the tyre from the wheelchair. Oh, poor old Dreadnought. Ken Feltwell, Dave Bowles and young Fay know they're heading out. And it's the Thermidor 2 team from Norwich going through, and it's a question here of damage limitation. But poor old Dreadnought. Will any of the wheels, with the caster wheels on the top of your picture, be left on there? Under power from Matilda. Income. Well, all the house robots seem to want to have a go here. So what's Dreadnought done to them? What's he done to ruffle the feathers of dead metal? I wonder. Onto the arena flipper. We know what's going to happen here to Dreadnought. Oh! Like a cannonball fired across the arena floor there. You see the house robots incoming because Dreadnought was immobilised for so long, so shunt with the axe and the scoop, and there you have Kill-A-Lot armed with the stomach-churning, rotating drill, the hydraulic cutting claw, can slice through armour plating. There's little hope left for Dreadnought. Dave Bowles there, brother-in-law of Ken Feltwell, dad of young Fay, and all three of them great competitors. They're back again. They've never missed a Robot Wars. Super people to be with, still smiling, even though, look at this, their robot has been ripped to shreds. You've got Kill-A-Lot, you've got dead metal in there as well. Oh, goodness me. How much work's gone into Dreadnought for naught? It's just been bent and buckled. And down in the pit, for mercy's sake. And still smiling. Good old Dave. Splendid sports.
Well, Dreadnought wins nout. The victors are Thermidor.
Underestimated Thermidor's little flipper right there, little Chaos 2 vibes.
Well, do you think in the First World War any of those Dreadnought were ever sunk by a lobster?
Probably. We thought it was a close match, though.
Oh.
Thought we had a chance for about 10 seconds.
You took some serious damage.
We did a bit.
You've been having problems with the robot, though, haven't
Yeah,
you?
we got a bit damaged earlier.
Yeah.
It took a lot of work to get it ready.
Well, you lost your shell before. I thought lobsters were supposed to lose their shells. Well, you're going to come back.
Hopefully.
I think you're going to have to rebuild that robot, though,
I
aren't
think
you?
we'll start again.
Oh,
Might
yeah.
have to.
Throw away and start again.
Yeah, possibly. Good
Cheers,
idea.
guys. Good to see you. See you next time.
Good idea.
Well. You're doing all right, aren't you?
Not doing too bad, no. We had a few problems just before we came on as well, but the claws wouldn't work, but the flipper, thank God, did work.
The flipper just flipped
Yeah,
straight
that's-
away. It was like it was the end of it straight away.
That's right, we only just met, didn't we? And that was the end of it, really.
And yeah, you just hit him, he flipped them over, and the house robots came in for the kill.
Yeah, we just left him to it.
Well, you know, you're through to the next round, lads. Do you think you can go any further?
Well, we'll try.
Okay. Let's hear it for Thermidor!
Thank you.
I can smell that burnt robot.
Yes, it's well and truly toasted.
But you come every wars, don't you?
Yes, we've done 4 wars.
Well, there's so far, exactly. So those wheelchair motors will live to see another wars.
I don't think these ones will, no. And especially not the wheels. So it's time to bury it, I think.
Oh.
Oh, poor old Dreadnought. They are good competitors, but they've gone out. Thermidor 2 winning the heat semi-final to come head-to-head with Chronic the Wedgehog. The surprise so far, really.
I think I want to go with Thermidor for the final bout.
I just read that in Japan, a lot of sumo wrestlers are turning to modelling to make a living. But how many Wonder Bra adverts are there to go around? I think we'll stick to Sumo Basho. Let the trials begin!
The trials of strength and endurance being won so far by Exterminator. They lasted a whole minute in the Sumo Basho ring. Anyone who wants to beat them has to push Shunt out of the ring inside that minute time.
From Cumbran and seed number 4, Panic Attack.
Good robot, good competitors, Kitten Davis, young Michael and Christian Bridge. Panic Attack, low centre of gravity, 80.6 kilos, good weight to take on Shunt.
Roboteers, stand by.
Good driver as well, Kim Davis.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Maintenance manager by trade takes on Shunt. Ooh, brinkmanship from Panic Attack, right on the edge. Moving away from Shunt. This is a viable tactic. Dodge Shunt. Stay away from him. You don't want to get close up to that bulldozer scoop. And this isn't bad so far by Panic Attack. Oh, very nearly out! And Shunt goes! Panic Attack threw Shunt on. I think Shunt hit the ground first, which means Panic Attack could be the new leaders. If Shunt hit the ground first, let's have a look. Panic Attack certainly went out, but the question is, did Shunt hit the ground first? Because if they did, they did!
Yeah,
Panic Attack will be the new leaders. They've done it! They drew Shunt on, more by luck than judgment, I would suggest, but there you have it. Shunt hit the ground first, and Panic Attack will be the new leaders, even though they're a little bit fluky.
From Hemel Hempstead and number 6 seed, Behemoth.
They know what they've got to do now. Anthony and Michael Pritchard, Kane Aston, Bachelor of Science in Computer Studies. Behemoth with its 80.4 kilos, its pneumatic scoop, has to go on the attack.
Roboteers, stand by. 3,
Back now.
2, 1.
Has to thrust forward. Has to go at Shunt and try and lever Shunt off within the time set by Panic Attack. Digging in. I suppose a moral victory would be to last the minute anyway for Panic Attack and join Exterminator. Well, it's not hugely entertaining, is it? Look at this. Bang, scoop to scoop, and then, well, not a lot of movement. No, not a lot of movement. Movement, yes! We had a flicker, a spasm. Brilliant, though, they've lasted the minute, and that's all that matters for them. That's what sumo's all about. A load of lard and not enough movement. And their confirmation of our lardy boys in joint second, Behemoth. They lasted the minute, but look at Panic Attack, the only robot to shove Shunt out of the arena in 21.15 seconds. They're our leaders, 2 robots still to go.
Find out who'll be our sumo champion next time. Right now, it's back to the wars.
And the heat final, Craig. Chronic the Wedgehog against Thermidor 2. Two surprise finalists in this heat. It's going to be some old tussle out there now. And this is how they got to the heat final. Thermidor 2 with Chronic the Wedgehog, defeating Gravedigger, surprisingly so. The seeded Gravedigger went out. Then the Thermidor beat Dreadnought. Dreadnought disappointing and into the pit, while Chronic sent the Dark Destroyer into the darkness of Robot Wars night.
If that pillar thing wasn't there, it would have probably had enough clearance to go over.
Thermidor. Hello.
Oh yeah.
Your flipper made mincemeat of Dreadnought then, didn't it?
It did. It's a bit intermittent there. We've lost the claws. The claws just stay open. And the
claws never did anything really anyway, did
well, that's
they?
what we thought. But no, the flipper may not do anything either. So, but we'll give it a go.
So you've lost your claws. You've lost your flipper. They've got a flipper.
The flippers, possibly. Yeah, we don't know.
How are the mini Metro wheels holding up? We're going onto the stage.
Well, we need to get on stage if they can.
Okay. No time to chat.
Give us an ETA. Preferably in seconds.
Oh, we're ready.
We're ready.
A minute.
Look at this. No time at all to think on Robot Wars. Last bit of screws going in. Do you know what you're doing there, young man? Yeah. Of course he does.
Roboteers, stand by.
Is Chronic the Wedgehog the better prepared of the two heat finalists? Dave and John Lang, Mike Gardner. Thermidor 2, David Harding, Ian Harvey, and young Eli Kirkpatrick. Of course, he knew what he was doing, Jules. It's a screwdriver with a screw into a bit of metal. Not brain surgery, Jules. Thermidor 2 has beaten 2 seeds so far. Women in the pits. Thermidor 2 against Chronic the Wedgehog. She'll kill me for that. Chronic the Wedgehog's flipper, and the flipper of Thermidor 2 is working. Now that was a concern for them. We know that one of the pincers was buckled earlier on. Well, they may not be at their most effective, but they are working. There's the flipper of Chronic the Wedgehog, and the flipper's locked there, look. Well, that's interesting. Locked tight together, and Thermidor 2's flipper up between the flanks of the Wedgehog's flipper. Getting underneath Thermidor 2. It's certainly the more aggressive here, I think, the Wedgehog on the attack. Getting in away from Thermidor 2. Now to come on another drive, look, in between the pincers. And certainly the more power belongs to Chronic the Wedgehog. That's evident there. Both flippers came into use. But it was Thermidor 2. The lobster was sent scurrying back. Chronic the Wedgehog. Oh, I've got his flipper. Well, I spoke too soon! Look at this! Buckled and torn from the front of the Wedgehog! Splendid stuff! Got sort of a half side on to Thermidor 2, and that's why the front flipper was bent and torn straight off. So all they can do now, I think, is buffet the Thermidor towards a pit, towards an arena spike, towards one of the house robots, towards the CPZ. They're trying to do that, actually. This is good driving by the Wedgehog boys, trying to force Thermidor 2 back. The driver of the team is Dave Lang, but time is running out. They've sustained more damage. May well go to the judges. They'll mark on damage, star control, and aggression. It's a terrific heat final. If it goes to the judges, what's happened here to Wedgehog? Thermidor's okay. The Wedgehog was spinning but not moving. I think they were immobilized. I think they lost control. They did. In come the house robots. You could just see that they started to spin around. Couldn't get any forward momentum. Moving sideways now because Dead Metal has them. Oh dear. And we need now a spiky display by the Wedgehog, and I don't think we're going to get it. I think the Wedgehog is heading for hibernation in the pit of the Robot Wars arena floor, because their Killalot has a grab. Oh, Matilda comes in. Matilda and the Hog together. Doesn't make pleasant thinking, but anyway, a Killalot at the top of your picture. There's Shunt again, and Dead Metal! And the Wedgehog! Come on, the Wedgehog! The Wedgehog! 99.
Damn.
Well, Chronic the Wedgehog are just roadkill. Thermidor are through to the series semi-finals.
Wow.
Well, you got past the Dark Destroyer, but you couldn't beat a lobster.
No, well, that's life, isn't it, really? We ended up going in ever decreasing circles and disappeared completely.
You lost it. Your little flipper paddle thing got sort of bitten half as well, didn't it?
I got completely mashed.
What was your tactic? I mean, do you think you had a chance? Because you look like two fairly evenly matched robots there.
Yeah, we heard at the start they might have lost their flipper, but that was a bit of a porky, I think.
You see, disinformation, we call
it's a
it.
red herring, not a lobster.
Will you come back and visit us again?
Definitely. Definitely.
Nice to see you, lads. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Thermidor. You might be a crustacean, but you're not a crust robot.
No, much to our surprise.
You're through to the series
Yeah,
semi-finals.
we're well pleased.
Did you think you'd get this far?
No, not really.
Because I was saying, you were two evenly matched robots
we were.
there.
There's been so many good robots this year that looking around, we really thought our chances were slim, but...
But like some good robots break down, you never know. I mean, a lot of good robots have gone out.
Yeah, well, ours has got problems. We're going to have to repair it now. I mean, the flipper was half the time working on its own and half the time it didn't do anything, so...
So you think you can sort of repair it all for the series semi-finals?
Well, we hope we can. We hope we can.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you there. Let's hear it for Thermidor!
Thank you.
Well, beware competitors who've got glass jaws. We don't throw our punches on Robot Wars. Bye-bye.
Woohoo!
Well, team, it looked like nobody had lobster on the menu at all.
No, we were lucky, I think. So.
Not even the house robots.
No, we kept out of their way.
Huh? And you look intact.
There's a little bit of damage at the front, so we've got a few repairs.
And you need to find another mini metro to nick some wheels off.
Yeah, we'll have a look in the car park before we go.
Watch out.
Next, Wheelie Big Cheese is back with Roger Plant devising a bigger, powerful machine at number 15 in the seedings and a grudge against Killer Lot. And Suicidal Tendencies, seeded number 32. On track, so are we. Onward for more Machiavellian machinations, mauls, meshing and mashing.
Guys, we're seeing a trend here. Hold on a second. Okay, so we are seeing a trend. The trend, the way Cassius inspired with the self writing mechanism, you see it's crazy within the time period, right? Chaos 2's revision has inspired many because guys, I just want to double check with you guys. I might have to go look back on the original Thermidor. They didn't have the pneumatic lifter, right? They didn't have that, right? The flipper. Because I could swear they didn't have that. But either way, that's a huge upgrade because it was definitely pretty strong. Maybe not. Maybe it's on the same level of Chaos 2. Maybe it's not. We'll have to see. But because they definitely advanced there. They had a chance to flip over Dreadnought out of the arena. But I think that little beam thing or the pillar was just right in the way. So it actually saved Dreadnought. From looking at a lot of these robots, I will say that I think that Dreadnought, Dark Destroyer 2 definitely need to tweak their robot. I mean, it's time for some sort of a dramatic change because almost not that much of a difference from their, at least with Dreadnought, it just very similar to its previous thing. Obviously, they said about the electronic thing, but it's time to me, like looking at what we got, what the new wave of robots are. I think they definitely need to change. Dark Destroyer 2 was cool with its little side thing going like that. That had me rolling a little bit. It was definitely funny. I think that out of all the robots, the massive ones that either I underestimated was definitely Thermidor. Chronic the Wedgehog, I'm glad it did very well, honestly, and stuff like that. It's one of those robots that I kid you not, that you see how there's like a pattern with some of them have like this kind of goofy side to their looks. Like it looks more like on the, like the, not like trolley, but like more, you're just in it for the fun thing. So looking at that robot, you got the planners on top. It was a robot definitely that you could easily, I feel like you could easily underestimate it. The one I was the most excited to see was Warhog. I thought that was like the coolest design. I definitely like the art on the front of it. I thought that was really cool. It definitely packed a punch, not in the same element of a hypno disc, but if it can get its mobility better, I hope that would be a robot that we can see again. Gravedigger had nice art as well on the front of the robot, but I don't. That one, unfortunately, we had got the name wrong. We got confused with Dreadnought's name and Gravedigger when we looked at this initially here. But Gravedigger's art was cool. They didn't really get their weapon system working. Unfortunate for them. Yeah, you do get a little bit sad or throughout this stuff. But I think overall, because of the unexpected, like, people advancing, it made for an interesting thing, because sometimes there is kind of a clear cut who's ahead of the game. So I like that I was being it was more wrong with my guesses. I always like to be wrong anyway, because then that means something surprising is going to happen. But when Warhog, I think he hit Dreadnought. I think he had Dreadnought. You saw like some pieces fly, but once that thing kind of went in the air a little bit, like a couple feet, I was like, damn, man, they got screwed out. But you saw that Kill-A-Lot was freaking attacking the robot. How you guys feel about that? Was it, to make sure we clarify the rules, once it's incapacitated, we know that they can get in there, but once one is there, you already had a second one now. It's like you kind of it almost felt like overkill in the scenario, just to get like a little bit more destruction in it. The sad reality when you're looking at a lot of these house robots is that the ones that technically is doing the most destruction is, for the most part, is really the house robots. So hopefully we get some more destruction on the actual, robots that are competing, because we already know what house robots can do. But when you see them doing more destruction, I feel like sometimes they're just doing it to give a little bit more excitement to the thing. And again, just personal opinion and stuff like that. I would like to see the robots that are competing do, like crazy destruction. Yeah, we have seen instances of some crazy destruction, some bullying of the house robots. Those are things I want to see more forward. More bullying of the house robots. Put a little bit of payback on these house robots that have been whooping robots' asses, a lot of these weeks. Kill-A-Lot is still, very destructive. Once he starts flipping you and, throwing you around, it's like your little ragdoll effects there. But overall, I definitely think because of the underdog elements there, ones that you can underestimate, I was pleasantly surprised with the episode. So, you got Thermidor. I would like to see that one go up against like a Chaos 2, Flipper against Flipper. I feel like though, Chaos 2 still, he's still the one to beat. But yeah, we'll see. We just got to keep rolling with these episodes. Sometimes, Julia is saying some things that you just like, I guess she's just saying whatever's on her mind and stuff like that. She's like, do you know how to use a screwdriver? Like, bro, like he's doing the thing. Like, let the kid be, man. But he's doing his stuff, trying to help out, his team go far and stuff. So even the announcer was basically getting on, like, that he knows what he's doing. So sometimes, there's certain things that she says that just is like, what the hell's going on here? But overall, definitely enjoyed it. We will see you guys next week. For those that just watch Robot Wars, thank you very much. We'll see you next week. And yeah, check out some of the other content on the channel, guys. We will see you next time. Peace.